This is Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com, and today I'm bringing you a review of the Technica ATH CKS55i in-ear headphones with iPod controls. For a full unboxing video, you can check out my other video, the CK55i's. But for this, I'm going to give a quick overview. You can see that it comes with a little carrying pouch, which is nice. The one thing I don't like about it is, if you're like me and you keep your other sets of ear tips in there, and you go to pull this out, inevitably I almost always yank one or two of these out and they end up on the floor and I end up searching for them. You could just get rid of carrying those with you, which would be my suggestion, because probably your ears don't change in size all that frequently, I wouldn't imagine. But at any rate, so here is your CKS55i's. And quickly I'm going to go over this. It does come with 4 sets of tips. It comes in a small, a medium, a large, and an extra large. Most people are going to find that the medium and the largest probably fit, and then you've got the other two just in case. Okay. As you can see, they look real nice. They've got an interesting shape to them. They're different than most in-ears that I've seen. Nice looking set of in-ears. Here's your inline volume control with your up, your down there, and in the middle is your play pause button that is also your voice activated command. And then on the back, that is your microphone for being able to speak while using your iPhone or your iPod Touch for the voice commands. And here is your 3.5mm jack with a right angle connector. Again, it's gold plated. Technica does this on most of theirs. High quality.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to put these in your ears. If you've never used in-ear headphones before, this is important for 2 reasons. 1, you don't want to damage your ear, and 2, if you don't put it in correctly, you won't get the proper seal and you won't get the sound that you expect to hear. Here's how you do it. You pull up on the top of your ear and you take this and you put it and you kind of wiggle it into place, and it goes in a little bit further than what you might expect, but then after it gets in there, you just let this go. You shouldn't feel any pressure inside your ear. It should just feel a little bit muffled because it's like you have an earplug in, but you should feel no discomfort. And if you don't, then pull it out, wiggle it back in until you get it right. And if you're not getting the proper seal, you might need to either step up to a larger set of ear tips or go down to a lower set. So here's a tip for you. In-ear headphones have a tendency to have what's called microphonics, and all that is when it's hanging on your shirt and it's bouncing against your shirt, there's a noise that travels up it in the form of bass that goes into your ear, and that's called microphonics. A way to alleviate that quite a bit is you can, after you put this in, all you have to do is take that and wrap it over the top of your ear and lay it down. So now, as you can see, that cable's going up over the top, and all that does is this noise that typically travels up the cable this way, it catches at the top of your ear and it doesn't travel inside your ear. So that's a nice little tip, and it's great for people who run because it actually keeps your headphones from pulling out from the motion of jogging. So that's another nice tip for you. So comfort of the CK55i's. These are some of the most comfortable in-ears I've ever put in. And there's really 2 reasons for them. 1, the shape adds to it because they kind of elongate and they don't go into your ear so far. But 2, the tips that ship with these are similar to the Sony hybrid tips that a lot of people buy to replace their in-ear tips for other sets of headphones. And really what that means is these have a harder silicone than most tips, so they're not real flimsy and they don't collapse real easy. But they're also soft enough to contour to the insides of your ear, but they leave enough room for air to breathe and come in and out so they don't make that popping or clicking, and at the same time they're comfortable and they stay secure in your ears. So again, these are extremely comfortable in-ear headphones. We're about to check out the isolation on these. I'll tell you what I can hear when I have these in my ears, and then I'll let you hear what anybody around me would hear when I crank these things up. So I'm going to now use the inline play control, and I'm going to start playing some music. Play songs by Timbaland. Alright, this is all the way up. That's pretty loud. This is down to about 75%. And this is what you'd hear if you were sitting next to me. Now, as far as what I can hear around me, These don't really block out that much sound. As a matter of fact, I can pretty much hear everything around me. So don't get these for isolation. That's not what they're for. A quick note on the volume on these things. These will go insanely loud. These are extremely sensitive. You do not need an amp to drive them. Okay, so usually I start out a review by going into the bass, the mid-range, and the treble. I'm actually going to veer from that on these because these are a little bit different in how they actually reproduce the sound. So let me explain. These do not stay balanced as you go up through the volume. When you're below 60%, these sound like they have a blanket over them. They're really muffled and they don't sound all that great. You hit 60 to maybe 80%, and that's the sweet spot of these. They actually sound pretty good. The bass is good, the mid-range and the treble, they all sound very balanced and they're nice. You go up above 80% and these become just sibilant. They're pretty harsh to listen to. So between 60 and 75% is really where you're at, and that's pretty loud on these. I mean, these are sensitive headphones, so unless you really enjoy listening to music loud all the time, these may not be for you. Yeah. Keep in mind that the bass, the mid-range, and treble that I'm going to do this review on now, I'm going to assume that you're listening to this at 75% because really that's the only place, 70-75% is the only place you would really want to listen to these to get a good sound. The CK55i's are in the solid bass lineup of their headphones, and they don't fail to impress when you are in the 70% range. The bass is very good on these. They go low, they go deep, and there's no boost at any particular frequency. So these are balanced throughout the bass and they sound really nice. They've got nice impact, good drive, and very articulated notes. The mid-range is also very sweet when you hit the good spot on these. The vocals are a little bit recessed, maybe a little laid back, but overall your mid-range for your instruments and your vocals sound very clean and natural on these. Again, once you're in the sweet spot, the treble even sounds pretty good on these. I mean, they're balanced. The bass, the mids, and the treble, they all sound very good. These are detailed. They don't have all the airiness of a higher price set of headphones or just maybe a higher quality set of headphones, but they do sound good once they hit that sweet spot. Now, one other thing to mention is the inline microphone, because the reason you're buying this as opposed to just the CK55s is because these do have the iPod and the iPhone controls in them. Oops, and I just started that. So here's the thing. I tested these out several times with my wife on the phone, and every time I had these on, she's like, I can't hear you. You sound terrible. What's going on? Why can't I hear you? So that being said, apparently the microphone on this does not pick up as well as it should. I tried basically where it was just hanging properly where it should be, and that didn't work. So then I tried talking directly into it, and she said that was better. But pretty much the mic quality on this was not good enough to use this really as your everyday conversation piece. All right, so being the thorough reviewer that you all expect me to be, I went ahead and tried to get this microphone as close to my mouth as possible. So here we have some blue Panter's tape from the hardware store, and we're gonna give this a shot now and see what my wife thinks. Hey baby, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, so apparently this didn't help either. Sorry. So wrapping up on the CK55i's, I wish that I could tell you that I love these, but I didn't. Unless you're somebody that listens to everything at 3/4 volume and you never go up or down at all, these really probably aren't going to make you all that happy. The comfort's good, the build quality's good, but the sound quality just is not there unless you were in a certain sweet spot of the volume, which happens to be very narrow. And as far as the iPod controls, I like the buttons. The build quality was great. Unfortunately, the sound quality when you're taking phone calls wasn't all that good. Now, my wife did say it was marginally better with the tape on my face, but I don't know how many of you actually want to ride around like that. So again, I can't recommend these. I would look at other headphones if you're looking for in-ears. And I will say I did review, or I am reviewing the CKS77s, which are much better, and you might want to check those out. So at any rate, that is the CKS55i by Audio Technica. Thanks again for stopping by and watching this review of the Audio Technica ATH CK55i in-ear headphones. Please leave me a thumbs up if you found this review helpful. Even though I didn't give it the greatest review in the world, you can expect that I'll always give you my honest opinion, honest professional opinion on what these things sound like. So please do give me a thumbs up if you found this helpful. Please don't give me a thumbs down. It just really destroys my day. And you know, please leave me comments and questions below. I will always answer all of them personally and as honest as I possibly can. And subscribe to my YouTube channel and go watch my other videos. And I will see you during my next review. Thanks.